Alright guys, what's going on? This is your boy Lago on Half and Doom. Back with again with another video. You see this right here on the screen, but I'm gonna go with this. I'm above average. I'm not no genius. I'm not no super smart person. I'll never consider myself that. But I'm above average because the norm is being stupid. So I'm just above stupid. And I am proud of that. I've lived my life to have made a job, to have a job that could make over $100,000 a year, and even had a company that has made $3 million and stuff in 1 year, and blah blah blah. And I am not. When I do these videos, it's funny. So this is a video right, from that angry whatever it is. These guys just, all they do is Nintendo hate. So know what it is, right? I've done videos responding to them already, even though their arguments are so stupid in the cases that the videos I've responded to. Now this one, it said Nintendo should have gone with a disc. I want to hear the reasoning, because if you don't, this is how people, and this is drive time, sorry, because I'm driving, I gotta do this, that, but this is when you know people are getting stupider and stupider, or whoever doing this video is dumb. This channel is a bunch of people coming together and saying stuff. Now you would think they could just like do stuff about other games, whatever, and it might do. I don't watch the channel that much, but for all I've seen, they always say Nintendo's the bad whatever. And for this whole week, it looked like since I've gone back into doing my stuff, like for the week, I've seen that gaming industry is gonna just implode. It might make a lot of money here and there, but it's because of gimmicks and tricks and all that stuff. But they're gonna, the bubble's popping the price. I said that was gonna happen. It happened. Now is the other part of the bubble, because gamers are gonna be saying dumb stuff. Now we know Outlaws. It was again. You know, what was that stuff again? Star Wars Outlaw. Didn't run, people are saying it don't run good on the Switch. It didn't run good on the PlayStation or the Xbox either, and PCs as well. It was a shitty game that was horribly optimized. Done a video about that. It was a horribly optimized game. So it was not running on. People thinking, oh, it should run on the Switch. I was like, who are you? If you don't run on the Steam, nor the Switch, nor the PlayStation 5, nor the Xbox X, it runs good. And on some people's PCs, the game is just a horrible optimized game. But y'all gonna still buy the trash. Again, it's kind of weird. You buy the trash games and then blame when a good game comes out. Oh, they're greedy, they're bad, they're blah blah blah. Okay, all right. And that's why he said the fault of the industry is gonna be the gamers. We buy the dumb stuff, as you're going to see the rest of the video. If you see the rest if you have already seen the videos from the past, the videos now, if you've seen the dumb videos, it's ridiculous. We cause the demise because we don't have simple sense to understand something. So these whoever done this video, if they're not an older person, they're a younger person, they don't understand. A disc is the wrong way. A disc, the foil base can detach. It has scratches, and also cartridge is faster to load than disc. And another thing is, which is the most important part, because you have to use a lens to read the disc, that part does wear out. That's one of the things I'm scared about my Dreamcast. It's like, I got a Dreamcast, love the game, but I hate that, you know, that the lens that read the disc, because that has happened on systems I had before. The PlayStation, and I wasn't even this year, the PlayStation 2 that I had, the eye thing messed up, and I had to replace it, and then that's one of the few, not all, one of the few reasons I didn't get rid of my PlayStation 2. Kind of wish I kept it, but I'm like, I was at 50-50, because it's like none of the games really, only most of the Japanese style games that pulled me. I'm like, okay, and I said, hey, and at the time I had just came to America, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna sell it to whatever. So and that's why I never heard people, when you're poor or when you strapped for cash, you gotta sell certain things. I respect that, and I understand that part. But the less moving parts, the longer the thing's gonna last. That's the end of the story. I was so happy Nintendo went back to cartridge, because again, I have a Game Boy cartridge, a couple Game Boy cartridges that still work to this day. Now, a couple of them is the battery. You gotta go in there and put the new battery in there and stuff like that. And a couple of them, that's it. My Metroid 2 still play. I'm like, I still want to know how the heck the battery lasts that long. That Nintendium, I'm telling you. So, with all the preamble, let's see what they're talking about, because this might be bonkers here.
Quick when the truth gets warm, song content's high, I'm collecting those tears, just got started. Switch 2, I honestly have to laugh. I really do, because the Nintendo fanboys, these people are up in arms, hyping this game to the absolute max, like it's some kind of brand new revolutionary release, like it's the second coming of Breath of the Wild or the next big cultural moment in gaming. And I sit back watching all this unfold, and I can't help but say, really? Really, guys? Because here's the kicker. This isn't some brand new Switch 2 game. No, it's not a landmark title design to show off what the new hardware can do. It's not a bold new IP. It's not even a fresh release. It's a game keycard, for crying out loud. That's all it is, a glorified ticket to download the actual game.
What game are you talking about?
Can we help you? Actual game.
What game is that?
And the funniest part, they are totally fine with it now. Totally okay. Why? Because
Wait. You talking about Outlaw Star? You really talking about what Nintendo fans were hyping up this game? Bullshit! You are such full of shit. Nobody I know as a Nintendo person was hyping up Star Wars Outlaw for Nintendo Switch. Nobody. Even GVC, those guys saying, yeah, I will pass this game because the game run horribly. Which again, they said in the same video, it ran horrible on the other consoles too. Who was hyping up Outlaws? See, this is why this is disingenuous. This is why this channel is a joke. This is disingenuous. You'll make your straw man arguments, man. That game never was a purchase for nobody in my group. Nobody in my channel was saying, oh, I'm gonna buy Star Wars Outlaw. Nobody said that. You are literally just, oh my God, you guys are just such lying pieces of crap, man. Y'all make up so much lies just to make a system look bad. That's why I do the arguments and do the stuff. I can't argue a preference. But when you lie like this, I do the videos because you're disingenuous. Oh man, that's just bad.
The developer came out and admitted plain as day that if they had actually put the full game onto the cartridge, it would have ran like absolute garbage. That's it. That's the excuse. And suddenly, just like that, the fanboys are okay with it.
Nobody
Overnight,
said that.
the same people who used to swear up and down that cartridges are the future, cartridges are faster, cartridges are better than this,
yeah, they
are now bowing their heads and quietly accepting that. Yeah, maybe the carts aren't all that great after all. Funny how that works, isn't it? See, I've been saying this for a long time. Those cartridges are way too expensive. Always have been, always will be. The profit margins on those things are ridiculous. Yes. And who ends up paying for it? Us, the consumer. And I said it back then.
Here's the dumb part. Us. But now people want physical games. So you don't want to pay for a physical game. See, this is why physical media is dying, because stupid shit like that. So now you don't want physical games? The cartridge is the better setup. I'd rather pay for a cartridge over a game this any day, anywhere. You put a full game on a cartridge, I'll do that. But here's the problem. And I'll say this. This is another problem that came up. Because y'all wanted all these super high fidelity graphics and all that stuff. The disc ain't no different either. Alright? So stop the bullshit. Because again, Final Fantasy, the last Final Fantasy remake, that's 150 something gigs of it's not on the disc. You have to download the shit. You have to install some of the game and you have to download the rest of it. So stop with the nonsense. See, you are misingenuous, whoever you are, man. And again, it's a multiple dudes who do this angry reality show. No, you're angry, yeah, and you're stupid. It's a stupid show. I'd rather pay for a physical game and I can play whatever I want. But because of the thinking that you just did, this is why we got digital games and people don't see. Like I said, gamers are the ones that's asking for the demise of their own hobby. Point blank period. He just said it.
And I'll say it again. Nintendo should have gone the PSP route.
No.
That's right, little base media, except
PSP? The system that didn't... You see how... PSP. Did he just say PSP route? The system that did not sold? The system that PlayStation abandoned? Hold on, let's...
Don't make them like us, the consumer. And I said it back then and I'll say it again. Nintendo should have gone the PSP route. That's right, little base media, except don't make them like the PSP fragile, flimsy UMDs that scratch even if you looked at them wrong. Make them Blu-ray quality, compact, durable.
Are you stupid? Yeah, you're stupid. Don't make it like the PSP. Just make it more stronger than the PSP. It's still a lens reading the daggone disc. It still has moving parts. More moving parts that is easy to fail. Duh. Good grief.
Higher capacity and cheaper to produce. That's the way to go. But oh no.
And most of the games will never fit on the damn PSP disc anyway either. All these third parties. Nintendo games would have fit on there, but third party games, they wouldn't. So it's again, and we talk about Star Wars Outlaws, which is a third party game. It's like your argument is mute and dumb. And I saw the comment section, people are so stupid to follow this nonsense. Y'all are dumb people.
When I said that, everybody jumped on me. Everybody told me, no. We need cartridges because discs are too slow. With discs, you have to transfer the game to the hard drive just to play fast enough. Well, guess what? With cartridges, we're right back in the same situation. With the game key cards, they can't fit the whole game sometimes. They can't optimize the performance without cutting corners.
They could have fit on the 64 thing. They didn't want to. 1, 2. This is Ubisoft we're talking about. This is not Nintendo. Ubisoft didn't optimize it. So the blame is on Ubisoft. But Nintendo gets the blame. You can't make this shit up.
Like with Star Wars Outlaws. And so now what do we have? We have got developers pushing out these game key cards and don't even hold the full game. You still need a massive download. You still need the internet. So tell me, what was the point? Where's the big win for consumers here? Here's the thing, at least with discs, the entire game is on there for the most part. You
not really.
You pop it in.
No, they're not. See, that's what I'm saying. There's your lie. You just lied again. Not really. Any games that's super big, they're not going to be on that. Call of Duty, the whole game is not on there. We know that. They're 256 gigabytes of friggin'. I know that because that's where it is. They're not on the disc. Final Fantasy, not on the disc. Alright? I have a PlayStation 5. I have a disc media in there. I have a Dreamcast. I have a disc media in that. I have a Wii U. I have a disc media in that. I have a Wii. I have a disc media in that. I have a GameCube. I have a disc media in that. I had a PlayStation 2. Disc media in that. The PlayStation 1 messed up. The GameCube one, I got messed up. I had to fix it, but got messed up. That's one of the reasons, like, oh my goodness, man. My Super Nintendo Top Gear Super Nintendo cartridge game, still play to this day. Super Mario World, still play to this day. Metroid 2 for the Game Boy, still play to this day. Super Mario Land, still play to this day. Nintendo, the first Metroid 1, still play to this day. Because lucky for me, I didn't do the whole blow thing. It could corrode the copper, so you know it could corrode. I kept it clean, thank goodness. Still play to this day. And again, knocking on plastic, but hopefully my Dreamcast still keep on playing. I worry about that when I hear that. So much time, it's like, man. I hope this thing, whatever. I hope so.
Transferred to the hard drive, and on top of that, discs are cheaper. Cheaper for the developers, cheaper for the publishers, and cheaper for us. It's a win-win. But oh no, the Nintendo fanboys couldn't let me be right. They couldn't.
If it was a win-win, then why is 2012 they started doing installs? You tell me, you ain't gonna, I bet you ain't gonna answer that in this video. Why they start doing install on the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation and the Xbox? If it's a win-win, it's a cheaper medium, you're correct. And when it's cheaper medium, they still try to do installs. Then just play the game off the disc.
Give me that win. They had to be different. They had to be quirky.
Yes.
They had to cling to their little, we're unique identity.
Yes.
And now look at where it's gotten them. And what's even funnier, now all the fanboys are as quiet as a church mouse about it. Not a peep, not a whisper, because deep down they know. They knew that they were wrong. They knew they fought tooth and nail to defend cartridges, only to have it blow up in their face. And the irony, the games they are bending over backwards to defend isn't even all that good. Let's be real here.
Exactly, so that's what I'm saying. You have a strawman argument. No, any Nintendo, a real Nintendo fan, one, most of the Nintendo fan as family don't care about this. Two, any Nintendo fan that's around my ilk of Nintendo and those games, most of the people on my channel, we were not gonna buy Star Wars Outlaws. Stop the bullshit. It's the weird, freaky ass people on the side that whatever, and third party people who are weird. I don't get that. I never bought a Nintendo console for third party game. I bought it for that. Nintendo's doing good, bro. I don't care what you're saying. I got my Mario Kart. It's on the cartridge. I got my DK Bonanza. It's on the cartridge. My third parties that have my respect, and mostly third party indies, but third parties like Marvelous, the whole game's on the cartridge. Don't have no problem with that. So you think you crazy? The last Ubisoft game that I played was Prince of Persia: Lost Crown. Didn't sell well. Why? Because of stupid gamers. But that one played without no problem on the cartridge. Starlink played no problem on the cartridge. Mario Rabbids 1 and 2 played no problem on the cartridge, sir. So what are you talking about? But on the other games, yeah, issues upon issues.
Laws came out last year. It's not new. It's not fresh. And you know what?
With Walmart Plus Assist.
It's not new. It's not fresh. And you know what? Nobody was that excited when it launched.
Exactly.
Nobody.
So
the hype came and went in a blink of an eye. The reviews were lukewarm at best. And that's because it's not a bad game, but it's not a great game either. So, it's a textbook definition of a mediocre AAA release. One of those games that gets some headlines, makes a little noise, maybe sells okay, and then fades into the background. But now, oh no, because it's coming to the Switch too, suddenly it's the game of the year. Suddenly it's a must-buy. Suddenly, these same Nintendo fans who ignored it on PC, ignored it on the PS5, ignored it on Xbox, are falling over themselves to pretend like it's the second coming of gaming. Give me a break. Look, I get it. I really do. Nintendo fans have been starving for good AAA party game support for what now? 25 years?
Not really.
A quarter of a century without reliable, consistent, high-quality third-party releases.
Not really.
That's rough. I sympathize. But here's the thing.
With who?
Just because you've been starving doesn't mean you're without reliable, consistent, high-quality third-party releases. That's rough. I sympathize. But here's the thing. Just because you've been starving doesn't mean you should hype up a microwave TV dinner like it's a 5-star meal. Just because you've been deprived doesn't mean you have to celebrate mediocrity like it's brilliance. All that does is send the wrong message. It tells developers, hey, you don't need to try, you don't need to innovate, just give us something average and we'll cheer like it's the best thing ever. And that is a terrible precedent to set. And then I get called out in the comments. I get people coming at me, oh no, you think it's mediocre because it's coming to the Switch? No! Wrong. Stop twisting the narrative. We've been calling this game mediocre since before it launched. That's not new. That's not some anti-Nintendo agenda. That's just the truth. The game looks mid. It launched under mid, and it's still mid today. The platform it's on doesn't change that. And let's talk about the main character for a second. I don't want to be that guy, but let's not pretend like the character design was pulling people in. Most gamers weren't looking at Outlaws and saying, wow, I can't wait to play as her. If anything, that turned people away. Compare that to something like Stellar Blade, where the character design was a huge draw. People wanted to play it, not just because of the gameplay, but because the protagonist was an eye-catchy, stylish, and yes, sexy. That matters. That sells. Look at Ghost of Yotei, or the latest Naughty Dog project that I can't remember the title of because it's too long and they need to change it. But you are playing as women that are not attractive. None of us are excited for it. We all were sitting here saying the same thing about Ghost of Yotei. We're all saying the same thing about that Naughty Dog project. Guess what? Those games are not on the Nintendo Switch. They probably will, maybe never will be.
Good.
But guess what? If it goes to the Switch, it ain't gonna change the fact that none of us are excited for it for the same reason. So I ask again, where was this hype before? Where were the Nintendo fans when Outlaws dropped on PlayStation? Where were they when it hit PC? They were silent. They didn't care. They had their chance to play it and they passed. Many of those Nintendo fanboys on YouTube have PS5s, have PCs. But now that it's on the Switch too, suddenly it's a masterpiece. Suddenly it's worth every penny. Suddenly it's a system seller. Give me a break. This isn't about the game. This is about defending the plastic box. This is about defending Nintendo's honor like the Switch 2 is some sacred relic handed down from the heavens. And that's what drives me nuts, because instead of holding Nintendo accountable, instead of demanding better, instead of pushing for real innovation and proper third-party support, the fanboys just keep lowering the bar. They keep moving the goalposts. They keep saying, well, it's good enough. And every time they do that, Nintendo and the developers learn the same lesson. Don't try harder. Don't spend more. Don't
spend more. But then you want them to not put the cost in the game. This person is two things. I think two of them both of them. One is you got to be an absolute moron, because what you just said don't make no damn lick of sense, or you're just a rage baiter and you know what you got to do to get people to watch your videos. Because the comments, like I said, I read the comment section, I read some of the comments, and even the comments are just as stupid as this damn video. They're just as dumb as this video. Because they don't know how the world works. They don't. That's why I gave that preamble up at the beginning. I don't think I can watch the rest of this video because it's losing brain cells. This is a LBC right here. This is a loss of brain cells. You listen to a person like this, you ain't got no brain cells at all. Cause he's goating you or he whatever. No Nintendo fan that worth their salt was with this. We already know Star Wars game was a piece of crap from Ubisoft, and we're starving for a third party game. We're Nintendo. I'm a Nintendo fan. I'm and my sister, and then we're starving for a third party game, AAA game. Not really. Not really. Do I have third party games on my Switch? Because the Switch just came out on my Switch. Yes. Majority are ones that I just called out, that I vented and see if they were good games from Ubisoft. I ain't bought every Ubisoft game, I ain't stupid. I bought the ones that make sense and I would like and run good, which they did. EA has not touched my console from since the Wii. EA has never touched my console since the Wii because I don't trust EA. Activision, can't say nothing because I don't know. They might have a game up there that maybe they published, but I know they didn't make. Square has touched my system because they have some good games that I like, and I'm putting so that's a third party there. But third party games, my boy, again, to give you an example, I bought PlayStation. I got a PlayStation 5. I got majority PlayStation exclusives, but still I have third-party games in there because they would never come into my system, and I bought it. Were they AAA experiences? No. I don't think Dragon Quest 11 was a great game and people like it and people want to have fun with that. Dragon Quest, what is it? The Fighters, Heroes. Dragon Quest Heroes 1 and 2. People say it was a good game, but it wasn't. It's a 7. It's a 6 or 7 at best when people were saying it. It's higher in my book, but that's what they said it was. I'm cool with that. I'm definitely cool with that situation. But you saying that bullshit. Now we're starving for games, but we have games from Marvelous. We have games from Falcom. We got games from Indie Darlings again, who made Shredder's Revenge and Street of Rage and Shinobi and Ninja Gaiden and Galaxy Trails, which we made Freedom Planet. And Capcom is a third-party game that's on the Switch, and I bought games for them too. We have good games that we want to buy third-party, but the ones that y'all hype up is y'all who want to hype it up. Because again, y'all hyped up Starfield. Starfield was a joke. I've done debunked the Starfield of being a boring game. Your video is just plain out rage baiting. That's what it is. It's stupid comments. It makes none of the stuff you say makes a lick of common sense or simple sense. None. Nobody was asking for that. Nobody was asking for that. Oh, who was doing that? You lost me. Sorry, you lost me. It's your plot.
Just shovel out whatever you got and the fans will lap it up. You know, it's not just Star Wars Outlaw. No. That's just the tip of the iceberg.
Okay.
Let's talk about Madden. Let's talk about WWE, because these games, these so-called big AAA releases get announced for the Switch 2, and suddenly the Nintendo fanboys are clapping like trained seals. They are celebrating like their team just won a championship. Oh my God, we're getting Madden. Oh my gosh, we're getting WWE. And I sit back and I just have to shake my head, because really, this is what you're excited excited about? Let's be honest here.
I
Madden,
wish I
come
know
on.
who
That
Nintendo
franchise hasn't been good in over a decade. It's the same recycled gameplay year after year with a
exactly.
fresh coat of paint and a new number slapped on the box.
You just
The only
answered
thing
the
new
question.
about it is the price tag and a mountain of microtransactions waiting to drain your wallet.
Exactly.
That's what the fanboys are cheering for,
No,
not
they
gameplay innovation, not a revolution in football. No, they are cheering for ultimate team card packs and predatory microtransactions. And WWE, same story. Microtransaction, DLC out the ass. Shiny graphics hiding shallow mechanics, but because it has a AAA stamp, suddenly the Switch 2 fanboys act like Nintendo just cured world hunger. And here's the part nobody wants to admit.
Okay.
Most of the big, not all world hunger. And here's the part nobody wants to admit.
Okay.
Most of the big third-party games coming to the Switch 2 in the future, they are going to most likely be a game key card. All of them. You know why? Because Nintendo painted themselves into a corner with cartridges.
Not really.
You can't transfer the game from the cart to the hardware. You can't fit massive next-gen games on those tiny overpriced.
And you can't do it for a disc as well. Like I said, your argument is asinine. It's, oh my God, stupid. Your argument is rendered mute by your own conversation, sir.
Chips. So what happens? Developers are forced to put out half-empty carts that act like glorified download keys. And the fanboys don't complain. They don't push back. They don't demand better. They just shrug their shoulders and say, well, at least we're getting the game.
No.
We are suffering because Nintendo makes poor business decisions, plain and simple. Nintendo knew that cartridges weren't the way to go.
They knew the cartridges didn't want the way to go. The same company that saved the industry back years ago and still is here to this day. Sega ain't here as a console manufacturer. They came in and they bowed out. Sony's now putting most of their games third parties. Microsoft putting their games on anything, even a toaster oven. How long would that work? The competition is eroding itself, and you're gonna blame the one that stayed the most constant? This is why the industry is fucked. Royally screwed.
Been telling them this since the start of the Switch era, well before that, back on the N64. But did they listen? No, they doubled down. They clung to cartridges like they were sacred, even as the rest of the industry moved on. And here we are, years later, stuck in the same rut.
By your definition, they clung to cartridges in the 64. The Nintendo should have followed it like the Dreamcast. Like Sega. Here we are, years later. They just had a launch of a new console. It's the fastest selling console ever. Huh? People tell me how this man's argument makes sense.
Stuck dealing with the same problems, stuck pretending like game key cards are good enough. Let's not kid ourselves. Cartridges belong in the past.
Not
That's
really.
where they should have stayed.
No.
They had their time. They had their place.
If that's the case, then you don't need to use SD cards. If they had their time, they had their place. You don't need SD cards then, because the cartridge is basically a glorified SD card. That's what it is. Freaking stupid.
The NES, the SNES, back then, carts made sense. They were faster, they were durable, they made loading times disappear. But now in the age of Blu-ray, in the age of SSDs, in the age of digital storefronts and massive game files, carts are a joke. They are overpriced,
So you want to have digital games more than you have physical games. See, that's what I said. Y'all, just like that female that I don't know where I have a video with a female talking. They talk themselves in corners. They do not understand shit. And say dumb stuff like that. Homegirl bought digital, saying, yeah, I was part of, yeah, I bought digital games and blah, 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 blah. But still, you should have done like I did. Not buy digital games. The only pass I give is indie. You bought indie games digitally, I give you a pass on that. But you walk down that path, and then now you want to sound that you better than anybody else because you didn't want to buy physical games? People stupid.
Powered relics, and Nintendo's stubborn refusal to let them go has consequences. We're the ones paying for it. We're the ones suffering. Because until this cycle breaks, until Nintendo finally swallows their pride and moves on, this is what we're stuck with. Mediocre.
Wait, again, see how the stupid this? Nintendo's the only one holding out, and he's holding back Sony and Microsoft and PlayStation. They're the held out, so they're the one by themselves. So you should be happy that Sony, Microsoft, Steam, and PC people are buying all digital games or games on disc and whatever. Why one company holding out? That don't make no sense. You see how stupid their arguments are. If you don't like Nintendo games, and you don't like, by your definition, sir, if you don't like Nintendo games, right? Nintendo games, and you like your third parties, and you like your disc, and you like your installs, and you like your thing, then you have 4 more, and you want digital games. You have 4 more different platforms. You have a PlayStation, you have an Xbox, you have PC, you have a PC handheld market, which is digital games too. You have 4 more choices, but you harping on 1 out of 4? Kind of 1 out of 4 is different? It's because y'all are envious that y'all want the Mario Kart, y'all want the Mario game, the Zelda and everything to be on y'all PC, so y'all could screw the company up more and more like you do the other companies. Because again, they making much money off of it. They go into third parties and stuff like that. They're going like Sony's going to third parties to put a game on everything, and Xbox. But wait, hold up. Didn't that Xbox just laid off 9,000 employees? Did they not cancel multiple games? But burn up all the studios? See how stupid it is?
AAA games, overpriced cartridges, half-baked ports, and fanboys celebrating mediocrity like it's excellence. That's the reality, and you wonder why people like me rant about this. You wonder why we get frustrated. It's because we can see the pattern. We can see where it's going, and it's not good. Think about it. How many times has this happened? How many times has Nintendo chosen to be different for the sake of being different, only to shoot themselves and us and their fans in the foot?
How would they shoot us and the fans in the foot by being different? Again, you have 4 other options to do. And so that's how you know you're stupid. You have 4 more other options, and you're worried about the 1 option out of the 5. Shoot the fans in the foot. You're not a fan. You just see this as a grift so you can make money off of YouTube. Point blank, period. That's what it is.
Remember the GameCube? Great little system, powerful for its time, but what did Nintendo do? Mini discs, weird little discs that couldn't.
I know this is what happened. You just talk about PSP, which is a mini disc too. Put them in a mini disc. And here's the funny part. Are you going to bring up the part that the mini disc was because of third parties asking for it? So they don't get stolen from like the Dreamcast and the PlayStation 2? Are you going to bring that up? Let's see.
Hold the same amount of data as a regular DVD. So what happened? Third parties walked. They didn't want to spend the time and money cutting content just to fit their games on smaller discs.
Cut what content? There were over 15 major big games on PlayStation 2 that was 2 discs. So, miss me with that nonsense again. Final Fantasy 7?
The GameCube, despite being a solid console, ended up with scraps for third-party support. Fast forward to the Wii, sure, it's sold like crazy, but the third-party games, shovelware, cheap cash grab titles flooding the system, while the real heavy hitters went to Xbox.
I think you have third-party envy. Like, third-party you're the gamers that I don't like that much. Because you think third parties is the shit, is the bee's knees. I like Sony games when they were more exclusive. I like the 360 because the 360 had a lot of more exclusive games, and also what do you call it again? The Xbox. arcade. That's sort of that. I like the Xbox 360 for that. Now the Red Ring didn't stop me from getting that console, but that was one of the systems I wanted to get. I bought a PlayStation Vita because of the games I could get on PlayStation Vita. That's it. I didn't care for no third-party BS like you are doing, dude. I swear, I don't know why third-party has this strength over a lot of people.
Xbox and PlayStation. Why? Because the hardware wasn't built to handle them. Then the Wii U. Don't even get me started. The tablet controller no one asked for, confusing marketing, ports that ran worse than last-gen counterparts, and again, poor business decisions. Nintendo handicapping themselves for the sake of being unique.
Where'd this come?
And now with the Switch and Switch 2, we're right back here again. Cartridges, overpriced storage, limitations everywhere, and developers forced to make compromises just to get their games running on Nintendo hardware. So instead of full optimized, complete experiences, we get watered down ports, half-empty carts, and excuses. Always excuses, and the fanboys, they eat it up, they defend it, they say, well, it's good enough.
But
good enough isn't good enough anymore. Not in 2025. And when the rest of the industry is pushing forward with cutting-edge technology, massive worlds, and complete experiences, Nintendo fans deserve better. Hell, gaming as a whole deserves better. Because when one of the biggest names in the industry keeps lowering the bar, it drags everyone else down. And that's why this drives me crazy. Because it's not just about...
So you hold Nintendo this high esteem, doing their thing. But again, you have 4 different options still to play your games of choice that you want, but they don't lowering the bar. Oh my God.
Star Wars Outlaws. It's not just about Madden. It's not just about WWE. It's about a pattern. A pattern of Nintendo making the same mistakes over and over. A pattern of fanboys defending mediocrity. A pattern of settling for less. Of celebrating scraps. Of cheering when you should be demanding more. And until that changes, until Nintendo finally lets go of their stubborn obsession with cartridges and embraces the reality of modern gaming, we're going to keep seeing this over and over.
Modern gaming, which is trash right now.
Mediocre AAA games, overpriced cards, half-baked ports, and fanboys cheering mediocrity like it's the second coming. And that's why I rant. That's why I get fired up. Because I love gaming.
Yeah, but you're still stupid. You're still stupid. You love gaming, you're still stupid. I'm done with this. I'm not going to finish the next 2 minutes. I ain't done this. Nintendo made a human mistakes by picking pack cartridges. This video is absolutely deranged, stupid, and a reason why the industry is what it is right as it is right now, because of people like him. And there's a lot of people like him. That's why I do my videos about the stupidity of other people. Enjoy the games, but when you got people who make decisions and make stuff like this, yeah, it's stupid. Good grief. Anyway, remember, there's no perfect games out there, my people. And again, like I said, I hold myself above average for a reason, because of that, because of what I've done in my life. But and people like, oh, you angry? I've said it before. I'll say it again. Right? Angry? No, I'm not angry. I don't care no more. I just don't. I do not. I'm gonna buy my Nintendo console, which I did. I'm gonna buy my games, which I'm going to do. The games that make sense, the games that's not broken, the games that is good because I want to. I buy a Nintendo console to play Nintendo games. That's what I've been playing Nintendo games. Indies get on there and they do a good job. Respect and love for the indies. Not all of them, of course, because again, indies is just as much regular gaming as anything. There's so many trash indie games compared to the people think. When I say indie, the love for indies is for the few and far between. They're about 20% of indie is worth something. The rest 80 is just trash, hentai, and oh, this game and that game. Few of them rise up to the top that makes sense, and that's what I'm talking. That's what it is. But y'all are just. This is just craziness, that people do this. I Angry Vigilante Show is just, like I said, the couple of videos I have responded to, this man makes no sense. He might make sense of other stuff, but he makes no sense. His logic is not sound. It's not simple sense. And you go like listen to go back to this video again. He went back and forth. Oh, they should use this. Then it should be digital. It should be like you're doing the stuff. When this is why modern gaming is what it is. Nintendo's stuck in the past and don't get with modern gaming. Modern gaming is trash right now because of the decisions of other companies. Think of what you're saying. Anyway, with that said, this is your boy, finishing it out. Remember, there's no perfect news out there, people. What's perfect to you is not perfect to me. What's perfect to me is not perfect to you. Simply enjoy gaming on all consoles, including PC and mobile devices. Good Lord, people are so stupid.